Alright, so just a little update before we start this next video. Um, some people, nobody's really asked me yet, but why does Resident Evil 3 have 1 of 2 and there's not really a 2 of 2? Well, there was a 2 of 2. Excuse me. I had a hell of a time editing the second part of that video. I had it up there for a little bit. Some people saw it. It just wasn't good, you know. There was a part where I died and I had to replay a cutscene, and the fucking audio was gone. So it's gonna be missing. You know, I'm gonna change that first video, the title of it anyway. I'm probably gonna title this one, you know, what happened to Resident Evil 3, but or part 2. But the game was it was pretty good. You know, it just is not it's not on the same level as the Resident Evil 2 remake was. I feel like this one was kind of like rushed. You know, like they just they used a lot of the assets from Resident Evil 2 in the police station, which so did the PlayStation version. So can't really blame them too much. I mean, it saves a little bit of money. But that being said, they I don't know. It felt like an express service game. You know, like it just really it was like, I don't know. Resident Evil 2 is kind of more like a scenic route down the coastal highway. Resident Evil 3 is more like an express lane, you know. There's no real large open areas, no puzzles. I mean, there was barely any puzzles in 2, but it just ain't, you know, wasn't really all that great. I was excited, really excited, to play Resident Evil 2. And I was just as excited when they announced 3. I was hoping that they actually would end up doing Nemesis again. But, yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like one of those people. I said this in my last video, that, you know, when you see a movie and they're like, oh, well, the book's better. But the original, even 2, the original Resident Evil 2 and 3 were both better than the remakes. I mean, to me, the original Resident Evil, the first one, and its remake, I mean, it's cool, especially as a fan, to be able to play these games again and experience them for the first time all over again, because, you know, they got the same basic premise, but the story is a little bit different, and it just feels like kind of a new experience of a classic, that's kind of the fucking point. But yeah, they seem like they really rushed this game, and what I mean by that is that I don't think that they, like, the fucking heater's kicked on. It's probably gonna be in the background. I don't think that they like had a deadline, like we're like, we got to get this out a year later. I think it was more like, you know, they just were probably co-developing 2 and 3, and I almost would say they probably actually made 3, like they were probably both complete around the same time, and one was just being polished, and they probably just hung on to it for a little bit. But my overall point is, I think that one of the telltale signs why I think it was created quicker than, or not given enough development time or whatever, just the reason why it feels so rushed and not as like it doesn't feel like a $60 game, it feels more like a $40 game, you know. And I think the reason for that is that it's all like a lot of cutscenes, like the control gets taken out of your hands a lot in this game. And, you know, I want to say probably in the 3 hours I played it, there was probably easily 45 minutes of cutscenes. Maybe it's a little bit of an exaggeration, but not by much. So you might as well say roughly a quarter of this game is cutscenes. A third, something like that. I mean, it's for a 3-hour game, it's a lot of cutscenes, a lot of time you're watching and not playing. And I feel they could have just padded it a little bit more. Like they could have added like a portion of the city that's a little larger. I mean, really, if you look at it as a map size, because that's what it is. That demo, okay, of her running around with Nemesis and all that. That's basically the biggest area of the game. That and the police station are the two main open areas of the game, and they're not really that big. I mean, even the police station is like a trimmed down version of the police station from 2, just like it was in the original 3rd. But yeah, I don't know, man. There's no puzzles, no nothing. So that's what I'm saying, is that to me, yeah, the original is always going to be better. But still a Resident Evil fan. I liked it better than 6. I liked it better than 5. So with that being said, though, I'm sorry that my video quality has been shit with the videos here. I mean, I fixed the audio issue by recording audio separate, but then the game drops out, and I got killed during the Nemesis boss fight with the railgun, and I had the recording device fail right at that instance, so it's like I had to reset everything, and the game audio was just a mess. So I'm hoping that I don't think anybody's looking at my videos looking for actual endings of the games and things like that, but I think I'm going to stick to probably more shorter form videos. Right now, I mean, I would love to do full playthroughs, but my video editing software is just not capable of doing that in a relatively, reasonable time. My problem with the Resident Evil 2, I put it up there just because I was like, what the hell, why not? I played the game, I beat it in under 3 hours, and with editing and rendering and all that, it was probably about 8 hours of editing between. I think the first one was pretty easy, in and out kind of thing. The second one was just because I got lost a couple times, so I had to edit out the chunks of me running around in circles in the hospital, because it wasn't really clear where you're supposed to go, especially for the first time playthrough, and I'm trying to get through it quickly. So yeah, I ended up reaching the limit of my recording device, so I had to pause the game, minimize the window. It's just a lot of bullshit, and I had to offload the recording and then start back up again. So it's just a big pain in the ass. I'm not going to be doing long form videos like that anymore. I'm going to be doing probably at most 40 minutes. I mean, I can't, I don't have time to edit everything together, play the game, and wait for it to render. Render is the problem right now. Is when I render these videos, they're taking a shitload of time. I mean, just that Resident Evil 2 Part 2, or Resident Evil 3 Part 2 playthrough, it was hours of rendering time, and I just, I gotta go away, and I gotta do things with my kid. I gotta, be a father. I gotta be a fiance. So I gotta fix things around here. I gotta mow the lawn, and I come back, and my computer is turned off because I've been away for so long. I turn it back on, and it's only been like 12%, and it's been 5 hours. I'm like, well, shit, I can't have this thing down here running all the time. I gotta run upstairs, do what I gotta do, come back down, mess with the mouse so it doesn't go to sleep. I tried turning off the sleep mode, but it goes into power save mode. There's so much damn shit I gotta worry about. So from now on, 40-minute max. That's probably all we're gonna get for these videos, at least till I can have some kind of semblance of peace around here, because I have a 2-year-old, so he's just, rambunctious as shit, always trying to get into everything. So he's a little bit too much to handle. We're just moving into this place, so once things start settling down, yeah, I'll probably start doing more long form videos like that. But yeah, it's going to be about 20 to 40 minutes, I think, is what we're going to be doing in the future. I know this video horizon, a lot of people expect there's no gameplay. It's just me talking for 11 minutes now. But I urge you to subscribe to the channel. Things are going to get a little better in the future, but every channel has a rocky period. There's an adjustment period for everybody. And I'm self-taught. You know what I mean? I'm not a genius with this shit. I didn't go to school for editing. I didn't go to school for film or cinematography or whatever the hell you want to call it. So I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. So any fuck ups or editing problems, anybody can give me any tips. I'm listening. You know what I mean? I didn't even know that there was even a problem with the video until my brother Dave's like, hey, your fucking voice drops or your gameplay drops out, and all you can do is hear you breathe in the microphone for fucking 3 minutes. I'm like, oh, well, great. So I watch it. I'm just like, man, that's shit, So yeah, I'm just gonna stick to short form. I know I've said that plenty of times, but the proof is in the pudding, I guess is what they say. So if you're on the fence about subscribing because you don't know if I'm gonna be around in 6 months, hell, I don't even know if I'm gonna be around in 6 months. I might give up on this shit completely. I don't know. I mean, I'm barely hanging on here. My videos ain't that great of quality yet, but I'm learning. I'm learning. It's a learning experience, and I appreciate your views. I appreciate your comments, your likes, and I appreciate it if you subscribe. And until next time, have a good day.